go on observing the silence within you. We'll start.
Sahana bhavatu Sahano bhunaktu Sahaviryam karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Keep your eyes closed. Just observe your breath. And slowly open your eyes. And we will start the sessions with a little bit of warm-up practices, starting with the hands. So sometimes the question comes, you will see in different traditions, where do we start? Whether it is the asanas or whether it is the vyayama practices. Basically what happens, depending on the body culture of yours. If you are using more of your hands, then you start to do your practices with the hands. If you have a practice where your occupation deals more with standing, seated, you start with that. If your occupation deals something with above the head region, then you start with that. So that is the basic principle. The second principle what we always do is that there are three basic principles. The second one, we do it from the region where we need to strengthen it. The third one, where we start, that is basically like, less motivational people. We always start with the most strongest area of their region. So they get their confidence, yes, I am doing well. Yes, I am doing well. I am progressing well. So in therapy, when we teach at the Ashtanga, what is their strong? Someone feet is strong, hand is strong, hip is strong. So there are different reasons, the approach. But here, as it is a group class and a tutorial class, we are just starting with the hand, assuming that all the people who are here are professionals. So we will be using a lot of our hands in typing, cooking, cleaning, washing, if you observe well. So we are using our hands more. And then another one of the things is that we think a lot. And these days we think a lot, we analyze a lot. So we cannot do directly to the brain region practices. So what is another way to deal the brain region, the neurons, is you rejuvenate your hands. So the more you do the hand practices, the more the hand practices you do, it has a great impact on the brain region. So with that introduction, slowly come into this position, Adi Mudra. So how do you do the Adi Mudra? Thumb, touch the root of the little finger and close it up. And then when you are doing the movement, you will ensure that you do 360 degrees. Okay? So as all of you all can do it, slowly start doing it, complete circular, and then you will see the hand has to be straight. Very important. 1, keep your head straight. 2, 3, 4, concentrate on the movement. Bring it completely straight. Kundari, Sammo in. 4, 5, 6. Anar, you are doing it fast. Can you do it slowly? 6. You need to get the 360 degrees. 7, 8, 9. On the other side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Relax. So why is this called as the Adi Mudra? The word Adi is means the first mudra. The primary mudra is what the means is. Why do we call it as the primary mudra? When the child is in the stomach, in the womb, how does it keep the hand? It keeps it in this position. So in the Ayurveda, in the Siddha, when they try to diagnose it, sometimes when they go into special need children, or if there is any problem in the child, in the womb, how do they diagnose? If the thumb is out, then they know there is some problem in the child. So generally a healthy child, the thumb is inside. That is why it is called as the Adi Mudra. And Adi Mudra is one of the best mudras. Like whenever you feel tired, you tighten it hard, which we will do. Go on tightening, tightening, tightening. However you tighten it, you will not get tired. That is the power, one of the most powerful mudras. We have nearly about 108 yogic mudras. In that 108 yogic mudras, 27 mudras are deal with the Kaya Sarira. Kaya Sharira means deals with the improvement of your body. In that, this one is very important. Especially people who take medicines for diabetics. People especially who take medicines for pressure. What happened in longer run? They give a nerve weakness. Their nerves, they generally get movement, a shiveringness. What is the best practice? Just teach them. Just make them. So that is the next practice which we are going to do. So we come into Adi Mudra. Keep your hands straight up. Slowly take a deep inhalation. Hold the breath. While you are holding the breath, start tightening the hands as much as possible. Fingers, fingertips, wrist, elbow, biceps, shoulders. Continue to tighten, tighten, tighten and hold the breath. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And now slowly release the breath with the hand finger. Just slowly open your palms, the fingers. Once again, ensure that you are able to do the practice as well. Once again, Adi Mudra. While you are closing the fingers, start to take a deep breathing. Hold the breath and start tightening your hands. Tighten it as hard as much as possible. See that whether you are able to feel the strength in both your hands. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And now release your breath. Keep your hands straight. So Arunya, you can just help your mother also to give the instructions. So let her be there. You come to a side and just ensure these practices she also can do. And now we are going to go ahead with the next practice of the same way, where you take your hands up. Same practices. So take your hands straight up. See the biceps touches the ear region. And now slowly. So it is like this. Don't bring it like this. Like this, touch. Now start tightening. 1, 2, 3. Cynthia, you need to bring your hands closer some more. 4. Anura Abhyasekara, you need to bring your hands closer and straight. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, tighten hard as much as possible. 12, 13, they don't be there. 14, 15, and relax the breath and keep your hands up. Just open up the fingers, that's all. Be there. So this is one of the very good practices to know how your shoulders are. Amalka, you need to get your palms, the biceps to touch the ears. It should be together. Nilushi together. Okay, now we are going to do the final round. Bring your palms in Adi Mudra. All of you know how to do the Adi Mudra. And now take a deep breath. Hold the breath. Tighten the hands as much as possible. See whether there is any shiveringness or anything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Samantha, you need to bring your hands closer. 8, 9, 10. Sumadi, your biceps should touch the ears. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Keep your hands straight up. Those who find it difficult, please bring your hands down. All the others, keep your hands up. And now, we're going to do another 2 more techniques. Same practice. What you will do is tighten it, look up, and see whether you are able to tighten more. Okay? Be in this position, start tightening it. Okay, stand, keep the hands there. All young people know who are here, so you can be there. Right. Look up. And when you're doing these practices, ensure that you don't wear specs, which is better for you. Continue the process. Slowly, hands up, look up, stretch your neck, take a deep breath. Now you are tightening your hands, hold the breath, feel the expansion of the chest and the stomach region. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and bring your neck down, relax your breath, bring your hands down. So once you bring your hands down, be in the Maha Mudra, palms facing up, and observe your neck. See how your neck is. There are certain people where I'm not able to do corrections because it just shows as iPhone. So I cannot call iPhone, then it's a problem. So ensure that when you attend future classes that you're able to name it well. So there's, right. So the next practice is same thing, where you bring it like this, hands like this. So you will see in Adi Mudra, but you take a deep breath and the chin touches the chest down. So this is the process. You take a deep breath, chin touches the. Okay, now bring your hands parallel. Come into the Adi Mudra. Take a deep inhalation. And then slowly, chin to touch the chest. Be there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Slowly come up. Relax your breath. Bring your hands down and relax yourself. We have to do it one more round. And now slowly up again. Adi Mudra. Take a deep breath. And then chin to touch the chest. And you need to ensure that the hands are very parallel to the shoulder. So you need to bring it up. 1, 2. Amalka, bring your hands up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Relax. Bring your hands down and relax yourself. So don't move. Sarojini, don't move your legs. I never gave you instructions. I will tell you when to relax. Allow the body to absorb the practices. As I told you before, once you do the practice, for few breaths, minimum 9 breaths, don't jerk your body, don't do any movement, don't adjust your hair, don't adjust your dress. Be there. After that, you do whatever you want. Okay, now relax yourself. And now slowly bring your fingers together, bring your hands in this position. So from down, so when you bring your hands from here to here, you inhale, from here to here, you exhale. Now, okay, start. 1, inhale up and then exhale down. 2, 3, so 4, Vidya, take it back, open up. This region, open it up, Vidya. 5, 6, very good, Kenneth, do it slowly. 7, 8, do with breathing, huh? 9, 10, on the other side, anti-clockwise. So anti-clockwise, what happens? The breathing changes, huh? So from here, you inhale up to here, and when you bring it forward, you exhale. So from here to here, inhalation. Right, start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Kate, you can take it some more behind. 6. Tilani, you are very fast. 9. Do it slowly. 10. Relax. And now, you slowly come into this position, start moving up and down. 1, 2, 3. So this becomes as the Paschimottanasana Kriya, where there is a movement. So go forward, breathe out. Huh? Start moving. 1. Those who can touch, you touch. Go down as much as possible. 2. Legs straight. Huh? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Good. Now, those who are comfortable, those who have any hip-related issues, spine-related issues, you can avoid it. The others, you will go down completely on the floor and then you will come up. So in case if you have a cushion, then you can keep it behind the hip and do the practice. But other than that, don't force yourself. So all those who are able to do by yourself, please do it. Those who feel you need a support, keep a cushion under it. Others, continue to do the same practice. Don't worry about it. And in yoga, it is very important, never compare your body, your practice with others. Huh? Your body is unique and great. Start. 1, with the breathing. Huh? Inhale. Go back. 2. Vidya, can you keep your legs apart? When you come up, your heel should not come up. So keep your legs apart. Those who feel when you come up, your heel is coming up, leg is moving up, keep your legs apart. Perfectly, you can do it. Then after a few times, you can bring it together. Continue. 4. So you saw the Lakshmi, your leg is lifted, raising up. Keep the legs apart. 7. Don't force, Abhirajita. 8, 9, 10. So when you are doing the practices, just keep lying down. Just lie down. We'll do another 5 more to 7. All what you need to observe is how is your hip, how is your stomach, how is your legs. Below the legs, you should not have any movements. Right. Once again, start. Up. When you go forward, breathe out. Do the practice. Don't be in a hurry. Huh? Sarojini, do it slowly. Why hurry? 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now slowly come up. Hold your toes. Either you can hold the toes, you can hold the ankle, you can hold the calf muscles, whatever you want to hold. And now go down, take your head down. So those who can, you can bend your elbows where the elbows comes and touches the floor. You can do the final posture of the Paschimottanasana, or just be there. Just keep holding. Don't force. Don't jerk. Don't move. Wherever you are there, be there. Comfortable. Stiram Sukham Asanam. Just hold ankle, just hold calf muscles, no problem. You are not doing any competition with your body. Enjoy your body. So this is a practice to strengthen and enrich your Udaragni, the digestion process of the digestive system. Take deep breathe in and deep breathe out. Relax. Slowly. Good. And now move your legs. So as most of us who are here are professionals, we sit for a very long time. So it's very important we do the practice of the Bhadrasana. So all of you know the Bhadrasana. Right leg, left leg, bend, hold, start moving. So you interlock your fingers, hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Faster, faster, faster as much as possible. This one you can do it. 7. Any of you all have any hip pain or anything? Then you need to do it slowly. 7, 8, 9. Kundavi, you can do it faster. At least one leg you can do. Understand? Because it's a very supportive practice. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Observe your legs. Now bring your hands apart. 1, 2, continue the practice. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Shashika, do it faster. 10, 11. Chandula, you can do it more. Both legs equally. 11, 12, 13, 14. Shamanta, do it faster. 15, 16, 17. Udeshika, you can do more. 18, 19. Amalka, do it more faster. 20, 21. Now bring your hands up in Anjali Mudra. Up in Anjali Mudra. Now look up at your palm. Very good, Meli. That is the way. Try very hard. 4, 5, 6. Look up. 7. You need to look up. You need to look at the Anjali, your mudra, or look at the ceiling. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Relax. Bring your hands down. Just be there. Don't do any adjustments. Kenneth, you should not straighten the legs. You should be in that position. I will tell you all when to release your legs. Just be there. Palms in Mahamudra. And now we are going to, so now if you want to straighten the legs, just straighten a little bit, or else go ahead with Tarasana. How do you do the Tarasana? Depending on your, some of you all will go up and down like this based on your capacity. Others you do few and then you will touch. So where the forehead or the chin touches your feet is called as Tarasana. So you can do few rounds of going up and down, but not required. But those who are finding it difficult, others be in the final posture. Kate, you need to move your hip, not your shoulders. Use your hip. Very good. Lakshmi, you're doing it very well. Be there in the final posture. Vidya, be there in the final posture. Shanti, go down some more. Kundavi, focus on your hip movement, not on your neck. Adjust your hip a little bit. You can do it wonderfully. Arunya, you're doing it well. Sashika, go down. Very good. Chandula, go down some more. Get your chin to relax on the big toe. Because as you are able to do that, get your chin to touch the big toe. Very good, Akshi. Others go on moving up and down. 5, 6. Sarah, go down. Be there. 7. I want you to do the final posture. Those who are not able to touch only, you should be there. Others be in the final posture of the Tarasana. 15, 16, 17. So the notes which I have sent you, if you would have said it properly, then you will not look at me what is Tarasana. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. Wonderful. Slowly come up. Don't do any movement. Just be there. And now we will go ahead with the Navasana. So all of you all have done it. All of you all know the sequence of it. So you bring your hands like this. Either you will keep your hands in this position or come like this. As you wish. Either you keep it like this or you come up like this. Okay. So each of you all, based on your capacity, be there. Your hand is on side, huh? Don't hold it. Huh? 1, 2. I am not able to see all of you, but I feel that all of you are having a beautiful smiling face. Keep smiling. Keep yourself enjoyable. Appreciate your body. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Very good, Tilani. 11. Anar, very good. 12, 14, 15. Even one leg is fine. Just raise one leg. We have taught you. Bend one leg, raise the other leg. Keep your hands. Final posture is not important. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Rukshan, why shivering? 19, 20. Raise your legs up some more. 21, 22. Hands straight. 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. Slowly bring your legs down. So we will do it once again. Just observe the variations. 1, you can do like this. 2, you can do like this. So you bring one leg, be in this position. And the third one is the final posture. So all those who are doing the final posture, bring your palms in Anjali Mudra now, like this. And just observe whether you are shivering. So we have taught you 3 steps. Hands down or leg bent. For those who are doing it very well, keep your legs up in the Anjali Mudra. Start. Aparajita, you are okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. Those who are in the final posture, eyes closed, observe your stomach. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Shashika, you can do it more well. 10, Sumati, 11, 12, 13. Chandula, you used to do this very well. Be there, focus your mind. Amalka, 14, 15, be there, 16, 17. All of you all would have had a good dinner yesterday. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, Deshika, 24, 25, 26, 27. Very good. We have all progressed very well. That is the beauty. So from where we are progressing very well. So now today we will introduce you to another very important asana, which is called as the Sedu Bandhasana. Okay. So first observe the clips, how it is to be done. And then after that, it's a very basic and a very effective practice, very easy to practice. Right. Observe.
Setu Bandhasana. Setubandh means formation of a bridge. In this asana, the posture of your body becomes like a bridge. This asana is also called Chatushpadasana. Lie down on your back with a comfortable distance between your legs. Place both your palms on the floor in such a way that they are facing towards the sky. This asana is called Shavasana. Now, join both your legs. Bend your legs and bring them close to your pelvis. Hold your ankles firmly with your hands. Now breathe in slowly and lift your pelvis as much as possible so that your body resembles the shape of a bridge. Ensure that your head and shoulders are on the floor and knees and legs are in one line. In this final pose, you can give support to your waist with your hands if you want. Stay in this pose for 10 to 30 seconds while breathing in and out normally. Setubandhasana strengthens the muscles of your lower back. This asana stretches the internal organs of your stomach to improve the digestive process and giving you relief from constipation. Setubandhasana helps improve cardiac functions. If you are suffering from ulcer or hernia, then you should refrain from doing this asana. Pregnant women should do this asana with utmost care and under expert supervision. After staying in the Setubandhasana pose for 10 to 30 seconds, while releasing your breath slowly, bring your pelvis down to the floor. Release your ankles and come back and relax in the Shavasana pose. Doing Setubandhasana regularly will help you to overcome depression and anxiety.
It's good. So we will go into the practice. Slowly lie down, relax. Make yourself comfortable. Straighten your legs. So if you all give me a side view, then it will become very easy for me. Kundari, if you give me a side view, then I can see whether I need to give instructions, Vidya. And also you may need to adjust your instrument if possible, but don't force yourself. Arunya, you be like that and you give instructions to your mom. Let her not change. Let her be there because you know to do the practices very well. Fine. And now slowly bend your legs. So when you bend the legs, you will keep your hands stretched straight. and see whether your fingertips is able to reach out to the heels. Just see. Don't force. So when you keep your hands straight, your heel should touch your fingers. So to that level, you should bring your legs apart. You should bring your legs apart. So right leg goes towards the right palm, left foot goes towards the left palm. Fine. So now you know whether you are able to hold or not. I don't want you to hold it. I just want you to know whether you are able to hold it. Now keep your palms on side. Keep your feet flat. Don't raise your heels up. Just lift your hip up and down. When you come up, breathe in. Kate, don't hold your ankle. Just keep your hands on side. Up and down. Inhale, up and down. Inhale, up, down. So what do you have to observe? Whether the chest is coming closer to the chin region. That's all you need to observe. But don't adjust your chin to come and touch the chest. It is the chest that which needs to go towards the chin. Right. Do 9 rounds. Prepare your body. 3. Give the complete strength on the hands. Huh? If any of you are having any hand pain or anything, then you should relax yourself. 5, 6. Tomoko, come up some more. 7, 8. Rehana, don't. There's a small jerk in your practice. Do it very softly. 8, 9. Good. Now, do 2 things. Those who are able to hold the ankle, hold the ankle. Those who are able to keep your hands on side, keep your hands on side and do the practice. Sashika, I did not teach you that. Sashika, come down. Bring your hands down. So all other modifications, you do it by yourself, but not now. Just follow the instructions what is given to you. Those who are able to comfortably hold the ankle, hold the ankle. Those who are not able to hold the ankle, keep your hands on side. Lift your hip up now. Slowly. Now we are going into the final posture of the Setu Bandhasana. Normal breathing. Vidya, come up some more. You can do it. Kate, come up. Very good. Sarojini, a little bit. Just 5 degrees up is good. Kundavi, a little effort. And then continue your breathing. You will be perfect. Cynthia, can you come up some more? Just be in that posture. Basic breathing. Ensure the feet is straight. Satya, lift your hip up. You can hold at the heels. Don't need to hold at the ankle. Because here, lifting the hip is important. Holding the ankle is not important. Be there. Normal breathing. Udeshika, you can come up some more. Dinesha, come up some more. Dinesha, Edivira. Nicely, just be there. Breathe in the breathing. And slowly come down, relax. Straighten the legs. Just observe the beautiful impact in your body. And once again, do it. Just do it by yourself. All of you all are doing these practices beautifully. You have beautifully committed yourself. You have understood the practice well. cheer your body, appreciate your body. Your body is a wonderful instrument. It will always listen to you. So when you're holding the ankle, embrace it with love and care. When you're lifting it and you're being in that position, it is a very majestic posture, which gives a great impact for the heart chakra. And then from there, you start doing the breathing. One of the very good practices which deals with your emotions. This asana is generally called as an emotional strengthening asana. Lift it up. Take deep breath. Your breathing should not bring you down. And those who are in the final posture, take deep inhalation and exhalation. And slowly bring your body down, bring your hip down. Straighten the legs and relax yourself. And now slowly turn to the sideways and slowly come to the seated position. Sit comfortably the way you want. So last week we had a basic understanding of why we have to do the pranayama. So I'll just go through it. So your body has 3 types of doshas, Vata, Pitta and Kapha. So Vata deals with the bioenergy, Pitta deals with the thermal energy, and the Kapha deals with the mechanical energy. And your body consists of 5 major pranas: Prana, Utthana, Vyana, Samana and Apana. The prana deals with the upward moving force. The Udana deals with the circulatory force. Vyana deals with the all-pervasive force. And the Samana deals with the lateral force, and the Apana deals with the downward moving force. So we have also discussed in detail about the Vata dosha, where the prana is located. So we have explained in detail Sthanam Pranashya Mudraha, where the prana is situated. And what are the systems which is controlling? It controls the central nervous system, peripheral nervous system, somatic nervous systems, autonomic and sympathetic nervous system. So all these things we have discussed in detail last class. And after that, I have told you all to collect the audios and for you all to practice and come today. How many of you all have done it? Raise your hands up. We'll see who from their respective instructors and have practiced it. Just keep your hands up because I need to move to the slides because we have a lot of people. So just keep your hands up so I know how many of you all have done it. It's good. So that is a good indicator that you are interested in learning. So the question now comes, that's fine. Why should you learn these practices when there are so many advanced techniques? So I'll give you a basic introduction. Basically, you will see that we have something called the respiratory system examination. In case if any of you all would have had any respiratory related issues for your parents or for your friends or anything, there is an examination process which happens. So which is generally called as the respiratory system examination, or which also we call it as the palpitation test. So what are the tests which is involved in that? We do the measurement of the chest. So when we do the measurement of the chest, what happens is the transverse and the anterior posterior diameters are measured. So the first technique what you do, the hand in and out breathing, is to strengthen that. Then we have this expansion by circumferences at the chest level. This is one of the respiratory system measurement which we do. So basically what happens when you do the first technique, that is the hands in and out breathing technique, it is very important that when your chest expands, according to the Western system, the chest has to expand for 5 centimeters. But in the yoga system, we train to the level of 7 centimeters. So that practice ensures that your chest is able to come into that. So any problem which takes place during the chest expansion, if it is not in 5 centimeter, then that will lead into the respiratory issues. Then we have also the palpation of the chest expansion. So when you do the palpation of the chest expansion, we do it in the front region, back region, and the apex of the lungs region. So the second technique of the hand stretch breathing leads with that understanding. Same thing, we have a very important assessment, which is called as the TVF. That is called the tactile vocal fremutus. So in that, basically what happened is that we try to understand the sound waves. So if you try to understand the sound waves, basically you will see in the sound waves that your chest has a different sound wave. If you take your respiratory system, now for example, when you try to measure it here, you will see there is a different measurement process. So if you tap here, if you tap here, if you tap here, you will see a completely different sound system. When you check your respiratory system, if you check your heart, and if you just go below down a little bit, you will see a different vibration. So the hand stretch breathing will ensure that you are able to get your system perfect from that level. Then also we do the percussion of the chest. So all these things, then we have the vocal resonance. All these tests what you do is to just to evaluate how your system is functioning, especially the respiratory system. So in very olden days, in our yoga system, in our traditional system, what we generally do is, we have something which is called as the Nava Mantra. There is about 9 mantras. So when one person goes on chanting these mantras, we will know in your whole respiratory system and diaphragm system and even in your basic upper level of the stomach, how your functionality is there based on the sound vibration. So those days we used to do the Nadi pulse testing, and we do these Nava mantras. So here in Sri Lanka, for all the yoga therapists, those who are following the yoga therapist course, we teach these very important methodologies, how to do the respiratory system examinations. Why? Because it is very important as yoga instructors, as yoga therapists. It is very good for you to understand your functionality. In Ayurveda and Siddha, basically what happens, they give a Kaya Kalpa, that is a very specific medicine made out of certain herbs, which will make that sound resonance balance. In the very traditional Buddhist system, you have something called the Buddhist medicine. That is specifically, it is around the Buddhist monks, because Buddhist monks, you will see, they go into heavy meditation. So there is always a heavy changes in the body vibration. Even in the earlier high level, especially this leads with meditational component. So there is a different temperature which is out and different temperature within. So they use, especially there is one herb which is bow tree, you have the bow seed and alam vidai. So with that, they take about 9 different medicines, prepare that medicines and they give it. Even now also in certain systems, we do that. Like, that is just to ensure that the body breathing process all takes place. So that breathing exercises, what you have learned, hands in and out breathing, hand stretch breathing, ankle stretch breathing, dog breathing, rabbit breathing, tiger breathing, Sashankasana breathing, straight leg breathing. These are all the breathing techniques what you have learned, that whatever you have collected from our instructors. So in that, what happens, whenever there is a concern, like for example, when you measure your chest, sometimes when you measure it from the right side to the left side, there can be an imbalance in the chest. So when you go into the testings of the side region, there can be an imbalance in that. So whenever you have an imbalanced system, with an imbalanced system, if you go to do Bhastrika, Nadi Shuddhi, Kapalabhati and all these techniques, the body is only going to resist. The absorption process will be lesser. What is the indicator? You will do the technique, but you will feel tired. You won't feel like enjoying the pranayama practices. Sometimes you will do it as a pranayama practices. So in the last class, I explained you, in the preliminary yoga practice, Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama comes in the fourth stage. But in the yoga practice, in the high level of yoga practice, Pranayama becomes the first technique. So before you go into the Pranayama practice, it is very important, as we are all in family life, there are various reasons, various lifestyles where our respiratory system, the whole mechanisms of the respiratory system and the breathing all get disturbed due to various reasons. A dream can disturb you. A message can disturb you. Sometimes you have seen certain people, when they get disturbed, they sweat. Certain people, when they get disturbed, they cry. Certain people, when they are disturbed, the appetite changes. Some feel like eating more chocolate, more sweets. Some people, the appetite disturbs. Why does it? It's because some information which came from outside has had an impact in your respiratory system. For that, what is important? So if a person is a highly sensitive person, all these breathing practices are very, very important, which take care of those things. So in future classes, I will be going in detail about each of these techniques. So today we will just learn only the hands in and out breathing. So all of you all come into standing position and start doing the practice. Then I will know what is happening, whether you all have doing it properly. So adjust your screen. Hands in and out breathing, the first practice. Start doing it. I think Disha, that is not the technique. Meli, what you are doing, I am talking about hands in and out breathing. Chandula, did you collect the CD? Fine. So what happens, it's very important that I will be asking each of you all to demonstrate first, because the whole guidance has been given. So Ashtanga Yoga Mandir has taken efforts in doing that in all the 4 languages, in English, Tamil, Sinhala, Japanese, to ensure that all the participants are benefiting. So you need to respect that and you should collect it and you should start. So today I will just explain you one technique, that is hands in and out breathing. I will just do it seated so that it is easier for you to understand. So you can just come and, so basically what happens, your hand comes like this. See, my chest starts expansion. That is what is important in this. So that is what does it, the hands in and out. Where your breath stops, you should stop. So the technique goes like this, but you can't do up to that if your breath has not gone up till that. So if your breath stops here, you stop here. You do it for 9 days, then your hand will expand, expand, expand. And that is the expansion of the chest. So what happens, as I said, chest comes into a friction. So whenever a person has emotional entities or even structural entities, what happens? The thing goes down. So this is what opens up. Okay. So in the physical exercises, they do like this. They do like this. But that is not going to give that impact the way how the hands in and out breathing does. So in the hands in and out breathing, observe again. Inhale to the level you can and then exhale. Sometimes for some people, when you have shoulder pain, what we do an adjustment in this technique. So how we do? See, the hand is bent. So this is how you have. So the complete focus is on the chest. Do it to the level your feet is together. In case if you have a balance concern, keep the feet apart or bring the feet according to the balance of your shoulders. Right, start doing it. Aparajita, you need to take more breathing. Huh? Breathing is important. Hand is only an instrument for you. Take more conscious breathing. Feel the expansion of the chest. That minimum 5 centimeter expansion you should have. Take deep breath. Mainly, you need to do it more slowly. You are focusing on your hands. I want you to focus on the chest. Do it slowly. Do 9 rounds. Now keep your eyes closed and go ahead with the practice. Close your eyes. Just see to which level your breath, inhalation to the chest expansion. So if you do a proper deeper breathing, the chest expansions come to the 5 centimeters. For instructors, it goes level to 6 to 7 centimeters. Right. It's good. All of you are doing it nicely. Just observe the technique once again. Go through the CDs. We have given you the contact numbers. Reach out to the instructors. Learn the techniques properly. And now you have understood the medically what happens, why we have to do the importance of these techniques. You have understood. Now slowly come to the seated position. As we have informed, today evening, we are starting our evening session in Sri Lanka time at 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. So from this week, we are doing the evening sessions also. So here you have to understand one thing, this is a tutorial educating program. So sometimes you may not get sweat. So making you to sweat and making you to break your calories is not our intention. Our intention is that you understand the yoga techniques, every techniques very well. And then after that, you can practice on your own, because most of the people who are here have been practicing. You all know the techniques and everything. And the Ashtanga Yoga Mandir has been daily sending you clips of all the different asanas. So nearly about 20 clips has been shared with you in Facebook, so you can reach out. But we are only teaching you the fundamentals. When you're doing, there's a great science behind the yoga knowledge, and that is what we are trying to impart. And so thank you very much for all those who have joined the sessions from different countries and taking effort. Appreciate those who are learning it deeply and ensure that you deeply learn it. This hand stretch breathing and all these things, breathing techniques, please teach people at home, senior citizens. If they are at home, just teach them. If you have any friends also, now we have all these facilities, you be there, connect them wherever they are. So if you are investing some time, invest with others and teach the technique, because then you will know. Because sometimes when I do with certain instructors, it looks very easy for me. But when I start to work with senior citizens, I find they are having some concern. So I start learning, then I start to perfect my positions. And all of you know we are having a senior citizens chair yoga practices on Tuesdays and Thursdays, seated on chair, and all the asanas have been taught. So like this, there are lots of facilities which is being given at this period. If you need any information, please text me. I'll be happy to share the information. So have a nice day. With the prayer, we will conclude the sessions, and most of you all are coming in the evening. So see you all today evening at the sessions.
ॐ सहना भवतु सहनो भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावतीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः
Thank you very much and have a great, wonderful day and a weekend. Thank you.